Have you ever wondered how a single well in the heart of Makkah has been flowing for over 4,000 years, without ever drying up, without ever getting polluted, and still nourishing millions of pilgrims every single year? This is not just any water. This is Zamzam, a miracle that continues to leave scientists, historians, and believers in absolute awe. And in today's video, right here on The Inspired Muslim, we're diving deep into the story, the science, and the miracle behind the Zamzam well that still stuns the world. Close your eyes for a moment and picture this. You're standing in Makkah, surrounded by millions of pilgrims, the holy Kaaba in front of you, and in your hands is a small cup of water. But this isn't ordinary water. This is Zamzam, a water that has been flowing for more than 4,000 years, long before any modern cities, before any of us were born, and long before technology could explain how a well in the middle of a barren desert could never run dry. Every year, millions of Muslims travel across the world to drink from this very source, and no matter how much is taken, it continues to flow endlessly. It doesn't just quench thirst, it carries a history, a miracle, and a deep spiritual meaning. What's shocking is that this well produces millions of liters daily, especially during Hajj when pilgrims flood Makkah. Yet the water never stops, never weakens, never fails. It's as though it's fueled directly by Allah's mercy. Scientists have tried to analyze it. Experts have studied its minerals, purity, and endless supply. And still, no logical explanation can fully capture why Zamzam remains so unique. Pilgrims, on the other hand, don't just see it as water. They see it as hope, as healing, as a direct answer to a desperate prayer made thousands of years ago by a mother and her child. So the big question is, what makes this well so miraculous? How did it begin? And why does it continue to astonish both believers and skeptics even today? Let's journey back in time to discover the incredible story of Zamzam. 1. The origin story. To truly understand why the Zamzam well is considered one of the greatest miracles in history, we need to go back thousands of years, to the time of Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him. Allah tested Ibrahim with one of the hardest trials any human could face. By divine command, he was instructed to leave his wife, Hajar, and their infant son, Ismail, in the dry, barren valley of Makkah. At that time, Makkah was nothing but an empty desert. No homes, no people, no water, nothing. Imagine that scene. A mother holding her baby, watching her husband walk away into the horizon with tears in her eyes. She calls out to him, "Ibrahim, where are you going? Are you leaving us here?" But Ibrahim keeps walking, unable to turn back, until finally she asks, "Did Allah command you to do this?" And when he nods, she falls silent. Her heart is heavy, but her faith is stronger than her fear. She says, "Then Allah will never abandon us." Days pass, and the little bit of food and water Ibrahim left behind is finished. The baby, Ismail, begins to cry from thirst. Hajar, a mother's heart burning with desperation, cannot bear to see her child suffer. So she begins to search frantically for water or help. She climbs up the hill of Safa, looking around, nothing but endless desert. She runs to the hill of Marwa, still nothing. Back and forth she goes, 7 times in total, her feet aching, her body tired, but her heart refusing to give up. This act of struggle and faith is so powerful that Allah made it part of the rituals of Hajj, so every pilgrim until the end of time will remember her sacrifice. And then, at the very moment when all hope seemed lost, the miracle happens. Right under baby Ismail's tiny feet, Allah causes water to burst forth from the ground. A spring of pure flowing water gushes out in the middle of the desert. Hajar rushes back, crying out with joy, scooping up the water with her hands and saying Zamzam, Zamzam, meaning stop, stop, because the water was flowing so fast. That spring became the Zamzam Well, a source of life in a place that was once lifeless. It was the answer to a mother's desperate prayer, a mercy from Allah, and the beginning of a miracle that still lives on today. 2. The everlasting miracle. What makes Zamzam so astonishing isn't just its origin, but the fact that it has continued flowing for more than 4,000 years without ever drying up. Think about that for a moment. Ordinary wells run out after decades, sometimes even after just a few years, but Zamzam keeps gushing, as if it's connected to a hidden ocean deep within the earth that never ends. During Hajj and Umrah, millions of people drink Zamzam water every single day. They fill their cups, bottles, and containers. Huge tanks inside Masjid al-Haram are constantly refilled with Zamzam for the pilgrims. Even with this massive demand, the well never shows signs of exhaustion. In fact, records show that during peak seasons, millions of liters are pumped out daily, yet the water replenishes itself instantly, as though the supply is infinite. And here's something that stuns both believers and scientists. The well itself isn't that big. By natural logic, it shouldn't be able to produce such an endless flow. But Zamzam isn't bound by human logic. It's a miracle sustained by the will of Allah. No matter how much people take from it, the water doesn't run out. No matter how many generations have passed, the spring continues to flow, just as it did when Hajar first discovered it. Pilgrims often describe the moment they first drink Zamzam as unforgettable. They realize they're not just sipping water. They're drinking from the same miraculous spring that saved Ismail's life thousands of years ago. They're experiencing living history, something that has connected believers from every corner of the world for centuries. This realization is what often brings tears to the eyes of those standing by the well for the very first time. Zamzam isn't just about survival in the desert anymore. It has become a symbol of Allah's eternal mercy, a reminder that when He provides without limit. 3. Unique qualities of Zamzam water. Now, here's where the Zamzam story becomes even more incredible. Not only does the well itself never run dry, but the water of Zamzam is unlike any other water on earth. Scientists who have studied it were left baffled by its composition. Unlike normal well water, which often carries impurities or harmful bacteria, Zamzam water is naturally pure and stays fresh even after years of storage. Imagine filling a bottle today and opening it years later. It will still taste the same, with no foul smell, no bacteria, and no change in quality. That in itself is astonishing. When tested, Zamzam water was found to be rich in minerals like calcium and magnesium, which are vital for human health. It also has a perfectly balanced pH level, making it healthier than many bottled waters sold worldwide. What's even more shocking is that unlike ordinary groundwater, which often contains traces of contamination from the earth around it, Zamzam water remains clean and pure, no matter how much is drawn. There's also the incredible fact that Zamzam water contains a unique heaviness when you drink it. Pilgrims often describe it as filling, nourishing, and energizing, almost like it carries more than just physical refreshment. And that's not just a feeling. Prophet Muhammad, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, himself described Zamzam as special, saying, "The water of Zamzam is for whatever purpose it is drunk," meaning that if you drink it with faith and a clear intention, whether for healing, strength, or knowledge, Allah can grant it. Believers often share personal experiences of drinking Zamzam and feeling renewed strength, healing from illness, or even a deep sense of peace in their hearts. That's because this water isn't ordinary. It's tied to faith, history, and divine mercy. So when you compare Zamzam to any other water in the world, the difference is clear. This isn't just H2O. It's a miracle in liquid form, a gift that continues to amaze both scientists and the millions of pilgrims who taste it every year. Zamzam isn't just physically pure, it's spiritually powerful too. And in a moment, I'll share how millions of pilgrims experience life-changing blessings from this water every single year. But before we continue, if you're enjoying this journey and want to keep uncovering more powerful Islamic stories and miracles, make sure to hit that subscribe button to The Inspired Muslim. We share reminders that will uplift your faith and connect you closer to Allah, so don't miss out. 4. The spiritual power of Zamzam. Beyond its physical qualities, what truly sets Zamzam apart is its spiritual power. For Muslims around the world, Zamzam is not just water. It's a symbol of faith, answered prayers, and divine mercy. The Prophet Muhammad, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, made it very clear when he said, "The water of Zamzam is for whatever purpose it is drunk." This means that when you drink Zamzam with sincere belief and a heartfelt intention, Allah can fulfill that intention through this water. Pilgrims throughout history have testified to this. Some drink Zamzam asking Allah for healing from illness, and they feel restored. Others drink it seeking knowledge or strength, and they find themselves more focused and determined. Many drink it simply asking for forgiveness, peace, or blessings, and they describe feeling spiritually lighter, as though their hearts were washed clean. This is why when pilgrims lift that small cup of Zamzam to their lips inside Masjid al-Haram, the moment is emotional. Tears flow because they realize they're not just drinking water, they're partaking in a miracle that started with Hajar's desperate prayer thousands of years ago. Every sip feels like a direct connection to Allah's mercy. It's also why Muslims all over the world treasure Zamzam water so much. Families who return from Hajj or Umrah often bring bottles of Zamzam as gifts for loved ones, knowing how much barakah or blessing is associated with it. Some people save even a few drops of Zamzam, drinking it during times of hardship or illness, believing in the hadith that Allah answers sincere intentions tied to this water. So while science can measure its minerals and purity, faith is what reveals Zamzam's real secret. It's not just about quenching thirst, it's about quenching the soul. It's a living reminder that when you place your trust in Allah, He provides in ways you could never imagine. 5. Modern relevance. What makes the story of Zamzam so mind-blowing is that it's not just a tale of the past. It's a miracle you can literally witness with your own eyes today. In modern times, with billions of Muslims across the globe, the demand for Zamzam water has never been higher. During Hajj season, millions of pilgrims travel to Makkah, and every single one of them drinks from Zamzam. Massive tanks are set up all around Masjid al-Haram, constantly filled with cold Zamzam water for pilgrims to refresh themselves. And despite millions of cups being poured every day, the well doesn't run dry. Not even close. To put this into perspective, scientists estimate that millions of liters of Zamzam are consumed daily during Hajj and Umrah. And beyond that, the water is pumped, bottled, and distributed to Muslims across the world. You'll find Zamzam bottles in homes from Nigeria to Indonesia, from Pakistan to the UK. Yet the source, the original well in Makkah, remains strong, fresh, and abundant. Now think about this. In a world where water scarcity is a real problem, where rivers dry up and even great lakes shrink, Zamzam stands out as an endless fountain of mercy. It's as though Allah is showing humanity a living sign that His provision has no limits. And it's not just about quantity, it's about meaning. Modern-day pilgrims often describe their first sip of Zamzam as life-changing. Imagine traveling thousands of miles, enduring long flights, fatigue, and crowds, then standing in front of the Kaaba, holding a cup of Zamzam in your hands. The moment you drink, you realize you're sharing the same water that saved baby Ismail, the same water drunk by Prophet Muhammad, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, and the same water that has nourished generations of believers for over 4,000 years. It's a connection across time, faith, and humanity. Even in today's high-tech scientific world, Zamzam remains unexplainable by human standards. No filtration system, no advanced engineering, just a small well in the heart of Makkah, flowing endlessly by the will of Allah. That's why every year, millions return home with bottles of Zamzam as a treasure, a reminder that they have tasted from a miracle. So when we step back and look at the story of Zamzam, it's not just about a well in the desert. It's about faith, perseverance, and Allah's mercy. From the moment Hajar ran between Safa and Marwa, refusing to give up hope, to the miracle that gushed forth under baby Ismail's feet, Zamzam has stood as a living reminder that Allah never abandons His servants. And the fact that this water has continued flowing for more than 4,000 years, serving millions upon millions of people without ever drying up, is proof of a miracle you can still see and touch today. Every sip of Zamzam connects us back to that moment of divine mercy. It tells us that when you put your trust in Allah, He provides in ways beyond human imagination. It reminds us that His blessings never run out, and His mercy flows endlessly, just like the Zamzam well. So the next time you hear about Zamzam, or if you are blessed to drink from it yourself, remember, this isn't just water. It's history. It's faith. It's a miracle that has stunned the world for centuries, and it's still flowing strong to this very day. So when you think about the Zamzam well, remember, it's not just a historical story buried in the past. It's a living miracle that continues to flow today. It's a reminder of Hajar's strength, her perseverance, and her unshakable faith in Allah. It's proof that when we turn to Allah with sincerity, He responds in ways beyond our imagination. From the dry, lifeless desert came an endless spring that has nourished generations, and from despair came one of the greatest blessings that continues to quench the thirst of millions of believers every single year. Every drop of Zamzam carries a story, every sip carries a prayer, and every cup is a reminder that Allah's mercy has no limits. It tells us that if Allah can bring forth water in the middle of a barren desert, He can surely bring forth solutions to our struggles, answers to our prayers, and relief to our hearts. That's the deeper miracle of Zamzam. It doesn't just fill your body, it fills your faith. And that's why, my dear brothers and sisters, the Zamzam Well continues to stun millions of pilgrims. Because it's not just water, it's a sign of Allah's eternal power and His never-ending mercy. If this story moved your heart, imagine what other treasures of faith are waiting to be discovered. That's exactly why we created this channel, The Inspired Muslim. Here, we share reminders, stories, and lessons that will inspire your soul and strengthen your connection to Allah. So if you haven't already, take a second right now to like this video, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to our channel. By joining us, you'll be part of a community that grows in faith together, one story at a time. May Allah grant you the blessing of drinking from Zamzam one day, and may every sip you take be filled with mercy, healing, and guidance. Ameen.